Based on your personal preferences and inventory in your area, it might make the most sense to purchase a new build rather than a resale home. In this video, we're going to discuss purchasing a prefabricated new build home as opposed to a custom build where you buy a piece of land and then build a home yourself or with the help of a specialist. A prefab is designed by a professional building company that is usually building several dozen homes at once in a newly developed community. Depending on the circumstances, buying a new build could actually be cheaper or the same cost as buying a resale home. This is something I would discuss with your real estate agent to see what market conditions are like in your area. That's right, I'd highly recommend you work with a real estate agent even if you are buying a new build. Builders are accustomed to working with real estate agents, and your agent will make sure to have your best interests represented throughout the purchasing process, which will take significantly more time than buying an already built home. Now, with this being said, you might consider asking the salesperson representing the builder if they offer a discount for buyers who are not represented by real estate agents. See what they say. Sometimes the price remains the same either way, and other times the builder will be willing to discount the price if the agent is not involved. I'll leave that up to you, but I will always recommend you go into a home purchase with expert representation to minimize the possibility of being taken advantage of or facing issues. The first step in the home buying process is always to get pre-approved by at least 2 to 3 mortgage lenders, and this is no different when you're buying a new build. There will likely be an excellent incentive offered by the builder's in-house lender, and it's great to be fully aware of the other financing conditions 3 other lenders have offered to you before you decide to move forward with your builder's lender. Ask the builder's lender for a loan estimate form and compare it to the other forms you collected when you went mortgage shopping. It's likely the terms will be similar, but you will get some kind of discount on the purchase of your new build home from the builder if you use their lender. The next thing to consider when looking at homes in new build communities is that the advertised price, for example, homes starting at $400,000, is nonsensical, unless you're looking to buy a home without professional flooring or without a kitchen. Builders will often advertise a very low starting price and then charge you extra for add-ons, but several of these add-ons will be considered essential to you as a typical buyer. So just be aware that the home's starting at price is below the minimum of what you'll most likely need. I'd recommend you visit at least 2 different sites with 2 different building companies to see how their products compare. And I'd also recommend you check out at least 2 different models or 2 different floor plans at each site to get a feel for what you can get for your money. Do some due diligence on the building companies to make sure they have a good reputation and are financed well. Remember, you don't pay the builder until closing, so the builder will have to pay out of pocket to build the home. Make sure they are known for getting the job done. Building a home is typically a 3 to 6 month process, and date and deadlines can fluctuate based on a variety of factors. Be aware of that, but also take the time to see what people's past experience have been like with this particular building company. Like any other home purchase, when you decide to buy a new build home, you will have to pay an earnest money deposit when you go under contract. Unlike resale homes, earnest money deposits are usually much higher on new builds. A deposit on a resale home might be 1 to 2%, but on a new build, be prepared to pay 3 to 5% as a deposit. Once you go under contract, it's a good idea to try to get in touch with the contractor who will be managing your project. They'll be in charge of everything and can give you updates on the home building process. Throughout the building process, you should be able to visit the property to see how it's coming along. I recommend my clients schedule at least 2 home inspections before closing on their new home. The first inspection should be a pre-drywall inspection, which is done after framing is complete and before the drywall is installed. This inspection can reveal any structural issues that you can bring to the attention of your builder before they cover everything up with drywall. The second inspection I'd recommend would be about maybe 1 to 2 weeks before closing to get a final look at any issues before you close the deal. It is much easier to handle issues with the home before closing, so it's worth it to spend the money to get the home inspected once during the building process at the very least. Don't be surprised if after a year or less of living in your home, the price of your monthly mortgage increases significantly. Now, this won't be because of a sketchy deal you made with the builder's lender. Instead, this will be because you should expect your property's assessed value to increase significantly after you've built a new home. The last time the city or county assessed your property's value when you didn't own it, it was probably just a plot of land. And now that you've moved into your beautiful new home, the value of the property that you now own will be significantly more. So you can expect your taxes to go up substantially sometime after you move into your home. It's essential not to overstretch yourself to the absolute max when buying a new home because your taxes will go up and change your monthly payment. Ask the sales rep selling you the home what they expect the taxes to be when you first move in versus the following year. If they've built several homes in the area, they should have a good feel for this info. The last piece of advice I'll offer is to not have a tight timeline for moving based on when your builder says the home will be finished. Economic conditions, supply chains, and weather can affect the final closing date for your new home, and you don't want to have your lease end or your previous home sale coincide too closely with your estimated closing date for your new home just to have it delayed 30 days and end up without a place to stay. If you're renting, talk to your landlord about switching the lease to a month-to-month or having a flexible move-out date. Or if you're selling your current place, see if the buyers would be willing to include a lease back option after closing so you have the flexibility to stay in your current place until your new home is being finished being built. Talking to your agent about how they manage this uncertainty should be very helpful. Buying a new build can be a whole lot of fun. You can fully customize your home, including furnishings and floor plans, and in some cases, you get to watch an entire community be built from the ground up. The best way to be certain you have all the information you'll need and to have a professional looking out for your best interests is to work with a real estate agent. So make sure you take all these facts into consideration when beginning your search for your ideal home. New builds are unique sales with contracts that are usually drawn up by the building company's attorneys and can heavily favor the builder over the buyer. So having your agent there to negotiate terms like closing costs and contingencies can save you a lot of heartache in the event something goes wrong. And never be shy about asking questions, not only to your real estate agent, but to your contractor, your sales rep, and even to your new neighbors. People are likely to be a lot more willing to help than you might imagine. And hold on to your home warranties in case anything goes wrong. You just might be covered by the builder for years to come.